laboratory.
Opening the portal now.
You were never one of us. You were nothing but a usurper, a false idol. My eyes have been opened. Let me help you to see, Slayer.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Ghostly French Toasting, and today we're going to be doing something different for war video wise. Today we're doing Doom Eternal. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. In today's video, we're going to be doing the Marauder. So let's just dive right in. So grab your ballista and grab your crucible, and let's get started. The first time we see the Marauder is in game is in the mission The Art Complex. The Marauder is a mini-boss, which would appear in later parts throughout the game, and it's just a regular common enemy. The Marauder is something that's interesting is the Marauder is one of the only demons to have basically free thought and free will. Even though the odds are stacked up against him, he still pushes to basically fight against the demigod, Doomslayer, and he continues to fight. His hatred is what pushes him to continue fighting against the Slayer, and it's more important than his own life. Before we begin, we must understand the history of the Night Sentinels, Argent-Ur, and the Maker race. In the past, the Makers were godlike beings. In the past, the Makers, who were godlike beings, found Argent energy. They gave it to gift to different civilizations to basically advance their technology far much more and quicker, and trade for their loyalty to the Makers. The Makers only wanted to have peace throughout their civilizations under their control. With these gifts, the people of Argent-Ur found themselves in a new era of prosperity, and saw the Makers as their new gods. The king of the Night Sentinels was the highest authority in Argent-Ur, but even he praised the new gods, the Makers. At some time during the Night Sentinels' crusades through hell, they found an Outlander. This Outlander was none other than the Doomslayer from the original Doom games. The Night Sentinels gave him a chance to fight for his life or die in honorable combat against the demons in the front lines. But the Doomslayer fought with the fury that had fallen at the demons' hands during the Mars base attack in the original Doom games. The King of the Night Sentinels, King Novik, granted the rank of Night Sentinels II, something that's only given to people of our Argentian race, to the Doomslayer. In many eyes of the Night Sentinels and the priests of the Night Sentinels, this was heresy, despite the Outlander showing great skill in combat and killing demons. Years later, the Maker and Night Sentinels discovered Argent energy, which was basically the essence of Hell itself. The Makers wanted more of this power, so they signed a deal with the Dark Lord of Hell to allow the armies of Hell access to the worlds that the Makers controlled, and in return, access to a constant flow of Argent energy from Urdak, which is the home of the Makers and the home of the Father. Because of this, a civil war was waged in Argent-Ur. King Novik, driven by his hatred that they were betrayed by and his people were used to build Argent factories, and knowing that the Khan Maker, the leader of the Makers, and basically the god, because the Makers are all just one connected hive mind, and the Khan Maker is basically the one that controls it. And I'm going to be doing a video on the Khan Maker. I think if this Doom video does good, I'm going to do that. If not, yeah. The Khan Maker, the leader of the Makers, was wrong to make the deal with Hell, and took his loyal Night Sentinels and the Doomslayer to war with the Khan Makers. The Makers weren't alone. Some of the other Night Sentinels who sided with the Makers will fight against their own brothers in arms. The Night Sentinels who were with the Khan Maker would still use their Argentian enhanced armament, but the Night Sentinels who were under King Novik used their former gods, the Wraith, which are basically powerful beings, but died out after the Betrayer made a deal with Hell to basically revive his son into the icon of sin. And the ones who sided with the Makers were given the power of Hell and the Makers' energy and turned into the Marauders. This shows why the Marauder, because the Marauders are multiple people in the Doom universe, and this shows why he has so much hatred to the Doom guy. The Doom guy was a false idol. He basically got the power of basically being a high-ranking Argentine, basically commander, for basically just being able to fight good. And he was basically a usurper, which means a person who takes a position of power or importance illegally by force. That basically sums up what the Doomslayer was. He basically fought and took the power by force. In one of the crusades against an Argent factory in Hell, the Night Sentinels were laid into a trap by the Makers and Hell itself to basically trap them in Hell. And basically they had to fight their way out. But in the end, only a few survived. The Argentine Knights that survived were turned into Marauders for the Khan Maker, and Doomslayer, anger boiled in the Doomslayer survived. Anger boiled in him, and he went on a rampage to Hell, which takes us to the events of Doom 2016. That's basically going over the whole sum of it. So I hope you all enjoy this video, and I really like doing Doom War, so I hope everyone's doing safe, happy, and healthy out there with all this corona stuff, and stay safe, everyone. Have a good life, don't die.